The Yellow Emperor is regarded as the founder of Chinese civilization and has long served as a powerful symbol of a unified China, even in today's modern China. The Yellow Emperor, or Huangdi, was the first in the line of rulers who lived in what is a sort of pre-dynastic age. Although the Yellow Emperor is supposed to be from the very ancient days of China, he started to become important first during the Warring States period because he harkened back to a time when China was unified as a people who called themselves the Huaxia. And this character for Hua is still used in the name for China today, Zhonghua Renmin Gongheguo, the People's Republic of China. So, what did the Yellow Emperor do exactly? According to legend, Huangdi's mother, Fu Bao, became pregnant with him after seeing mysterious lights in the sky surrounding the Big Dipper. The sky grew very bright and she got pregnant. 24 months later, Fu Bao gave birth to the Yellow Emperor. The Yellow Emperor was the leader of a tribe belonging to a kind of coalition of tribes, Huaxia Buluo. This territory was shared between other tribes also belonging to the Huaxia culture. One of those other leaders was called the Yandi, or the Flame Emperor. To the east, there were tribes called the Jiu Li, or the 9 Li, and they had a tribal leader called cuju. Throughout Chinese history, the Yellow Emperor has been credited with inventing all of the hallmarks of Chinese civilization. Not only that, but he also invented the Chinese diadem, throne rooms, the bow sling. He was said to have founded astronomy and created the first Chinese calendar, created math calculations, and wrote laws. Oh, and he also invented a kind of Chinese football. The Yellow Emperor was not just considered to be a genius, though he was also a really good leader. When he wanted to write down his first calendar, he asked another tribesman, Cangjie, to invent a writing system, Chinese. And meanwhile, the Yellow Emperor's wife invented silk. All this took place during a time of war. The Huaxia people and the Jiu Li people were hostile to each other. The Flame Emperor Yandi launched an invasion on the Jiu Li tribes, but was defeated. In his attempt to retreat northward, he brought his army into the tribal area of the Yellow Emperor, instigating a territorial dispute. The Yellow Emperor defeated Yandi's army in the Battle of Banquan. He now controlled all of the Huaxia area and launched his own attack on Chiyu in the Battle of Zhuolu. After his victory, all of the central plains of China were brought under the control of the Yellow Emperor. The newly merged tribes ruled over by Huangdi, the Yellow Emperor, referred to itself as the Yan Huang tribe. And this has given rise to a term, Yan Huang Zisuan. And to this day, the people of China still sometimes refer to themselves as the children of Yan and Huang. It's important to remember that there is no archaeological evidence for the existence of the Yellow Emperor or for the stories told about him. For most of Chinese history, the Yellow Emperor was seen as a historical figure. That was the belief of the great Han historian Sima Qian. Later, French historians of the 1920s argued that they were historicized legends at best, and this was a belief that came to be shared by other Chinese scholars of the period who founded the Doubting Antiquity school. The most ancient surviving reference made to Huangdi, the Yellow Emperor, has been found on a 4th century BC bronze vessel in the state of Qi. Around this time, there emerged a cult of the Yellow Emperor, and they saw Huangdi as being the originator of this concept of the centralized China. Over the thousands of years of Chinese history, more and more Chinese cultural achievements were attributed not to individuals, but to the Yellow Emperor. For instance, the Taoists said that many Taoist concepts were his idea, and even a book of medicine, Huangdi Nei Jing, cites him as the originator of different traditional Chinese medicine techniques. The Yellow Emperor continued to be a powerful symbol for Chinese unification even during the Republican era, appearing on banknotes in 1912. Other minority races of China, like the Manchu or the Mongols and the Tibetans, came to be included in this concept of the Zhonghua Minzu, or the people of the Huaxia. Briefly, the Yellow Emperor was banned during the beginning of the Communist era. At the end of the Cultural Revolution, this ban was lifted in the 1980s, and in 1984, Deng Xiaoping said that Taiwan was rooted in the identity of the Huaxia. When the first Chinese person finally made it into space, this event was even informally described by party leaders as being the first son of Huangdi and the Yellow Emperor to reach space. The Yellow Emperor is more than just a person. He's a symbol, and a powerful symbol that preserves the sense of identity China has needed across the thousands of years to stay together and to remain stable. And there's no reason to think that this idea is going to go away anytime soon. Much like the reluctance of the USA to let go of their mythology about Christopher Columbus and the discovery of America. Founding myths are powerful, and they're important. The Yellow Emperor is one of the finest examples of that.